Welcome, believers. Welcome, you wonderfully weird people. Now, there is a place in England, apparently, where the ground itself is said to remember. A place where shadows move, even when nothing's there. Where voices whisper across the wind, and something unseen watches from the mist. Welcome to Pendle Hill. Now, one of the most haunted locations in the United Kingdom, apparently. And tonight, we are going to uncover why. Welcome back to UFO, Aliens and Weird Stuff, where we explore the unexplained, the mysterious, and obviously UFOs, UAPs, and anything out there that's weird and wonderful. Now, if you're into real hauntings, dark history, and paranormal encounters, make sure you subscribe to this channel and watch this, because this one is not for the faint-hearted. Now, apparently, rising out of the Lancashire countryside, Pendle Hill stands isolated, exposed and forgiven. A remote moorland ridge where the weather can turn in minutes and visibility can vanish into thick rolling fog. But it's not just the landscape that makes this place unsettling, but it's certainly a major part of it. It's what people have experienced there. For centuries, witnesses have reported shadowy figures, ghostly apparitions, and something far more disturbing, entities that seem to know you're there. To understand the haunting, we have to go back over 400 years, and the year is 1612. England is gripped by fear, suspicion, and a growing obsession with witchcraft. And I generally don't think we have moved from that, even now today, humans, right? At the centre of it all is Pendle Hill. Now, 12 people were accused of practicing dark magic, consorting with the devil and cursing their neighbours. Among them was Elizabeth Southerns, known as Old Demdike, Annie Whittle, known as Old Chattox, and Alice Nutter, a woman of wealth whose involvement remains a mystery to this day. Now, what followed would become one of the most infamous witch trials in British history. Confessions, accusations, betrayal, even a child terrified against her mother. On August the 12th, 1612, 10 of the accused were taken to Gallows Hill and hanged. Pretty brutal time then, eh? But witnesses claimed it didn't end there. Reports began almost immediately of dark vapours rising from the bodies, of shadows lingering long after death. And ever since that day, people have claimed the hill has never forgotten. But not all encounters are silent, okay, apparently. Now, we jump right the way forward to 2004. A farmhouse linked to the Chattox family, a paranormal investigation took a terrifying turn. The lead investigator suddenly began choking, clutching his throat and grasping for air. Moments later, red marks appeared on his neck, as if something unseen had tried to strangle him. Now, crew members fled the building, describing overwhelming fear and intense anger in the air. Now we go to 2019. During a controlled vigil near the supposed site of Malkin Tower, a group sat in complete darkness. No movement, no sound. Then suddenly, a sharp clack echoed through the room. Now, when the lights were eventually turned on, a human tooth lay in the centre of the table. Not a new one, an old one, aged. Wasn't a young and impossible to explain. And then the most recent, okay, this was in 2025. And as I say, if I've got any more facts wrong, please drop me a line and tell me, all right? A resident in New Church captured something chilling on camera. She reckons she saw a 6-foot column of darkness moving against the wind, not casting a shadow, but somehow existing as one. And it passed through solid stone, as if the laws of physics simply didn't apply. Now, experts have ruled out insects, smoke, and also camera errors. So what was it? So how do we explain Pendle Hill then? Some believe the land itself recorded the trauma, a stone tape effect, replaying the suffering of 1612. Others suggest natural forces, electromagnetic fields, infrasound, geological stress, all capable of making us feel watched or even hallucinate. And then there's the darker theory. The Pendle Hill is a thin place, a location where the barriers between worlds is weaker. Okay, now I buy that, you know. Do you? I buy that, yeah. I mean, ghosts, ghouls and spectres, right? You can't ignore that something weird is going on, you know, and it's centuries old, isn't it? You know, I mean, what baffles me is you get reported of seeing ghost cars, ghost airships, you know, ghost bicycles, you know, but there is something out there that man cannot explain. And if you're a paranormal investigator and you do know more to this story, then please let me know, because it will be fascinating. Right, now, my final thought on it, because here's the truth. Pendle Hill has been a place of ritual, death and mystery for thousands of years, long before the witch trials apparently, and long after. It's isolated as well, so maybe the real question isn't, is Pendle Hill haunted, but instead, what has been there all along? Now, do you think that the land is cursed? You know, Pendle Hill behind me, there it is. Now, if you've ever visited Pendle Hill or experienced something you can't explain, please let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe and join me next time as we uncover more of the unknown. And stick it on the map of weirdness, right? Some places, of course, are always have a feeling about them, don't they? All right. Well, look, this was UFOs, aliens and weird stuff. I really appreciate you sticking around. If you catch my story, me alien story, the alien abduction story of Joyce Bowles, where I actually went on location. I actually went there to the very road that the abduction apparently took place. And you can see why. All right, check that out, please check that out. So this was the Pendle Hill ghost haunting story. As I say, if you do know anything, please drop me a line. All right, if I ever get the opportunity, I'm going to drive there. I'm going to go on location more often, as you can appreciate, especially now. Diesel costs money, but I will make it. I will make it as the YouTube channel grows. So please like, subscribe and ding that notification bell, and I'll catch you next week. Thank you.